Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on a Friday, ahead of a weekend, ahead of Thanksgiving week, ahead of Thanksgiving. So, some of you may be getting your travel plans underway this weekend, and I just want to point out that from the standpoint of today being a bit of a getaway day, when we look at the watches and warnings that are up around the country and advisories, there really is very little happening. It's fairly quiet in most areas, except up in Maine and northern New Hampshire, where we have some winter weather advisories. Little scattering of that going on. Also out in the west, we've got some areas dealing with some fog issues. We actually have freezing fog advisories up in parts of northeast Nevada, which you don't see very often, and a bit of wind issues in parts of Montana. But other than that, it is quiet, and we don't expect too much to happen today with the cold front that is moving on through. And you see it here on the midday satellite loop. You have this cold front and storm system that is moving across southeastern Canada up the St. Lawrence Valley, and the trailing front that goes with it. Now, the bottom end of this, the front coming on through, the bottom end of it is stalling out, and right back through here is this energy that has been in the southwest. Remember, we have what we've been referring to as a split flow. You've got a jet stream running around in the northern part of the U.S., and then, of course, you've had this active southern part of the jet stream that has been feeding energy since last week when we had that coastal storm off the Carolinas. Well, now this is going to be moving to the east-northeast, and that is going to be our weather maker here for Saturday night and later Saturday night and for a good part of Sunday. It looks like it's going to get in a little later as far as the precipitation is concerned, and it may last a little longer. So Saturday, definitely the better of the 2 weekend days. The radar loop is missing a few frames here at midday, but we can see these showers that are now moving on through and passing on to the east. It's a narrow band, a few heavier showers going on in parts of Delaware and down into northeastern Virginia at midday. And the back edge is moving fairly quickly too, and now into eastern Pennsylvania. From there westward, much of the rain is now over with. And on our surface map, here's the front. The low is already moved into southeastern Canada, probably not too far from Montreal. You've got this trailing cold front that is running across New England. So north of that is where we have the winter weather advisories. And the air behind the front is chilly, but it's not overly cold. Certainly not like the cold highs that we saw come down for last week. So let's show you what we expect going forward for the weekend and into next week. So our cold front moves through, and there you see the beginnings of the southern wave that's going to impact the weather here in the Northeast for the weekend. So skies clear out tonight. I think we'll start off with some sunshine tomorrow. We've got just enough of a high sitting right overhead so that weather conditions should be fairly good, although we'll start to see some high clouds come in later on in the day, and then those clouds will thicken up. The low is going to, looks like it's moving, tracking a little bit further to the south and east of what we were seeing on some weather models earlier. Meanwhile, other than that, and other than the rain that you see in the Pacific Northwest, the rest of the country is pretty quiet. So our low is going to try to run up into West Virginia. It'll fall apart, redevelop. We'll see a low pop up probably somewhere in Chesapeake Bay, and then eventually find its way off the New Jersey coast by Sunday morning. The back edge of the rain, this is the radar that we're showing you, the predicted radar off the GFS model. The NAM is actually taking a bit longer with this. The back edge of the rain to about New York City at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So weather conditions could improve certainly from northeast Virginia into south central and southeastern Pennsylvania during Sunday morning. And it will take longer once you go east of New York City. After that, we're into Thanksgiving week. Monday and Tuesday look fine. And Wednesday, as we watch a storm coming out of the Central Rockies and Central Plains, and models have really backed off on this in terms of strength early on. We saw models days ago trying to show a major blizzard in this area, and it's not going to be anything close. That storm goes up, also up the St. Lawrence Valley. We'll have a weather front move through here on Wednesday with maybe a couple of scattered showers. And after that, as the low moves up into New England and into eastern Canada, the gradient here is going to get very tight. Deep low pressure is going to develop over New Brunswick, and you're going to have a strong high coming down from the west. So I think this is going to set up for rather windy conditions Wednesday night and Thursday morning for Thanksgiving Day, and of course the Thanksgiving Day parade, the Macy's Day Parade. A lot of balloons in that parade, and they don't like strong winds for sure. And I think we're going to have some wind issues here on Thanksgiving itself. But as far as the weather, actual weather is concerned, I think Thanksgiving Day will be dry with some sunshine. You see a little bit of rain there in the Carolinas. Much of that is moving eastward and southeastward and just falling apart. So weather-wise, the wind is going to be a problem on Wednesday. If you're flying out, you may have some airline issues, so check with your airline. And therefore, Thursday looks good. Thanksgiving Day, I think, looks good from the standpoint of some sunshine. And so does the big shopping day on Friday. And then we'll head into next weekend, where we will start seeing a series of changes that I think are going to be important to pay attention to going forward. So that is it today as far as weather in 5 is concerned. Our temperatures, by the way, over the weekend are going to be on the raw side. Probably they'll be only in the 40s on Saturday, 40s to near 50. And on Sunday, temperatures may be hanging out mostly in the very raw lower 40s in a lot of places. So just bear that in mind. And then we should be back up to 50 or even better than that as we move through the first days of next week. Enjoy your weekend. Don't forget, Sunday morning at 10 a.m., we have our Sunday morning live stream called Coffee with Cioffi. It's a very leisurely Sunday morning with your coffee and your breakfast, your bagel, whatever it is, and we go through the weather in a very nice, calm, quiet way. Actually, most of the time when I'm doing weather, I'm doing it in a nice, calm, quiet way. Have a great rest of your Friday. By the way, as far as the long range is concerned, there are some long range posts up on my subscription weather platform on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Cioffi, and we talk about what we might be seeing as we move into the month of December. So have a great day. We'll see you over the weekend.